It's getting down to the nitty-gritty for Art Prize.
The debut event taking place in Grand Rapids in a few weeks meets an all-important deadline tomorrow.
24-Hour News 8's Ann Schieber is live outside of one of the Art Prize venues with the latest. Ann?
Sue, Brian, tomorrow is the deadline for artists to be matching up with venues. And a big factor has been the cost in setting up these displays. Does the artist pay for it all, or does the venue? And who better to ask than one of the 1,100 artists displaying their work? I'm with Tracy Van Dynen, an artist from Chicago who has been here many hours over the past 4 days and probably will be here late tonight setting up a display, setting up his artwork, which will be a permanent fixture here on the Children's Museum. You know, a lot of effort goes into this. You've got 4 people here helping you set up your mural. You know the dilemma with artists and venues and who pays for it. Do you think if you had to do something like this and it wasn't permanent, could you do it in like a city like Seattle?
We could. It would be a bigger expense for us, but we, you know, with a possible prize of $250,000, I think artists nowadays, you know, weigh that against the expense. I mean, we're paying for this thing to be installed, and it's worth our time. I'm lucky that I have family here, so I have a built-in work crew, but in Seattle it would be a different story.
All right. Well, thanks for taking a moment to talk to us, and you could see their work here over probably the next couple of weeks. It will probably continue. And that has been a concern, given the expense. Can something like Art Prize bring in artists from far away places? You can gauge from the latest tallies. At 3:30 this afternoon, 1,700 artists registered. 1,100 of them signed up to display their work in 168 venues. Could it be the expense? Bringing huge works of art to a city can be a huge undertaking and expense. Artists are on their own. Organizers of Art Prize insist so far, so good.
We've turned artists as much as we can into their own entrepreneurs to figure out how do I tie into my existing fan base. Maybe it's in Iowa, and I'm trying to figure out how to get my community to rally around me to go to this international competition in Grand Rapids.
Art Prize says most states will be represented, and places as far as Paris, London, Iran, and South Korea. Perhaps if the $250,000 cash prize were higher, might more faraway artists be willing to come? Organizers don't think so.
Quite frankly, the dollar amount on the award has been more for the public to make sure that they understand that their vote matters, and it matters a lot.
That Art Prize will be such a hit that anybody with a purse will want to be participating and perhaps make this even a bigger international event. We're live at the Children's Museum. Ann Schieber, 24-Hour News 8.